Hi everybody, welcome to another video. I started out making this a chest workout, but it turned into chest training tips. So this video is chest training tips. Let's get started on the chest tips. I want to start off with 2 tips. The first tip is make sure you have chest hair. Wait, that came out wrong. Make sure your hair is done so you can do chest. I had my hair in a regular ponytail and it dawned on me I need to put my ponytail up higher because when you lay down to do chest, when you have that bump from your ponytail right in the back of your head, then it's distracting and you're trying to like balance your head on that tip of the ponytail. So if you wear ponytails, you know what I mean. So I put my ponytail up a little bit higher so I can lay my head flat on my bench and not be distracted by the little ponytail bump. So that's tip number 1. And tip number 2, I teach this to my clients. It helps you to learn how to feel your chest better. I think chest and lats are 2 of the hardest muscles to teach people how to feel because we always want to use our arms and take over with our arms. In order to feel chest, lats, and maybe even back sometimes, you have to do what I call getting inside the muscle. So if all you feel is arms or shoulders when you do chest, to me, you're kind of working from the outside in. So you're holding the bar is attached, you're pushing with your arms or your shoulders, and it starts from here and works this way. And a lot of things can happen starting here to here. The most common problem I see is people, they have shoulder problems, and it's because they don't know how to train their chest from the inside out. In order to do that, you have to start with the chest and you have to learn how to keep your focus there. Your hands just hold the bar and attach the weight to here. So we want to forget about everything else from this point to this point. We want a direct line from the weight to the chest, and you have to do that from the inside. When you work the chest from the inside, you're not just feeling it, you're using it. And that's where your push and your power comes from. Chest and glutes and hamstrings were the 2 muscles that I could get sore every single time. And I feel like it's because I knew how to squeeze from inside the muscle and push from inside the muscle. So I wasn't just holding a weight going through a motion and using my shoulders. I don't know if you guys can see that. You know, if you're doing chest and you're doing this, that's like putting a lot of stress on your shoulder. Your shoulder's a lot smaller muscle than your chest. So that's why people get hurt. They get injured because they're trying to use a chest size weight for a small muscle. I have a video series, I think it's a 3-part series I made a long time ago when I first started my channel, and it's on push-ups and the chest and the hinge. I see that the chest is having a hinge here, and one of the first things you have to do is to learn how to hinge up, open that chest up, so then when you push, it's coming from your chest and not shoulders and arms. One of the things that I teach my clients to learn how to feel the chest and get in touch with the chest is learning how to contract it. So flex it. And one of the easiest ways to contract the chest is pushing your hands together this way. And I don't know if you guys remember the we must increase our bust. I saw that on some TV show a long time ago. And you're pushing your hands together to flex your chest. And it makes your chest muscles squeeze and contract. And that's the easiest way to feel your chest. So I'm taking my hands, pushing them together. You can see my chest flex, right? So if you practice that and you get used to feeling what that contraction feels like, you can recreate that when you're training chest. But that's only step one. That's the first level of the chest contraction. The second is, once you get used to feeling it this way, to make it a little bit harder, you want to separate your hands and then see if you can kind of push in without pressing your hands together, right? If you can do that, so your hands are still kind of coming toward each other, which again, that's the easiest way to feel your chest when your arms are coming in. But we're not pressing against something. So pressing against something makes it even easier to flex, but now we're coming in but not touching our hands together to flex. That's the second level of the chest flexing. When you get to where you can feel it that way and you're good at that, the next step is a little bit harder, and it's putting your hands out this way. Like if you were holding a bar or doing a dumbbell press. A dumbbell press, you push up and come together, which makes it a little bit easier. But a bar, your hands don't get to come together at the top. So you're basically pushing here to here. But if you can push like this, right off the bottom, and get that right in your chest, that is the hardest way. But if you can do this without any weight and without your hands having to come together and to squeeze, you just learn how to flex your chest from inside. And then you just take that same feeling when you train chest and use that same feeling. It's the same feeling. So when you take the bar off and you bring the bar down and you go to push up, that push up is coming from inside. So you're not just holding a bar and just going through a motion and not being in touch with your chest. You're holding the bar, bringing the bar down, and flexing the muscle from inside to push the bar up. So that's, like, I think, number one important key for learning how to feel your chest and use your chest, and then getting the most out of your chest to make it grow. I think that was probably one of my best body parts when I competed, was my chest, and then my glutes and my hamstrings. I just knew how to like feel it from inside and push from the inside. And I think that's what gives you the best results. It takes it deeper into the muscle. You get a better feel, a better pump. You can train heavier because you're more in control of the weight. You're not hurting your shoulders. It's all in the chest. And when you get yourself set right when you're doing chest, you don't have to worry about feeling your shoulders. Your chest tells you when to stop when you're going down, and you want to keep it in the chest muscles the whole time when you're moving the bar. You don't want it to ever go out to your shoulders, because once it goes out there, if you're at the bottom of the motion and you go to push up, you're going to hurt your shoulders, because once it leaves the chest and goes to your shoulders, did you guys just see that get darker? I have a light down here and I have 3 cats laying on top of the light, and they all just laid down and it made it darker. Anyway, once it leaves the chest and goes out to the shoulders, then you have to find your chest again. And a lot of times if you're at the bottom of the movement because your elbows are in the wrong place, or you lost your arch up and your chest goes flat, and then you come down and it goes to your shoulders, when you go to push up, you're going to be pushing from your shoulders, and that's when people get hurt too. So I'll link my push-up videos down below. I made them quite a few years ago, but the same thing applies. I explain the hinge, and I'll show you when I go to lay down to do this set. Once you get the bar off, you get yourself set, and it's almost like you are pulling your shoulder blades together just a little bit, because, and I talk about this in the videos, you have antagonistic muscles. So your chest and back are antagonistic muscles. So when one flexes, the other contracts. And what we want to do is, when you have the bar up here, you pull your shoulders back, like your shoulder blades together. That helps to stretch out your chest, and it opens up that hinge. So when you have your chest hinge open up, then you're not hinging from your shoulders. You don't need to. So, and then you pretty much stay set when you come down and come up. You don't ever push too far forward to let this cave in, because again, now you're losing your chest at the top of the motion. So your chest caved in. Now you're putting it on your shoulders. So if you don't find your chest again when you start to come down, you're going to come down from your shoulders. So, and that looks like this. So if I've pushed too far at the top of my motion, then when I go to come down, that's all shoulders, because I lost that arch up. So once you set it, you're only pressing up to like about there. You're not pushing past it to like let your chest cave in and losing that open hinge. That just collapses your chest when you push too far forward. And a lot of people want to do that because they want to bring it all the way to the top. But that just shifted from the chest all the way to the shoulders and then the arms. So the key, I think, there's a lot of keys, but one of the main keys is learning how to keep whatever body part you're training, keep the tension in that muscle without it like spreading to somewhere else. And your body likes to do that. It likes to let other body parts come in to help you when a muscle gets tired. So when your chest gets tired, shoulders and triceps want to come in. And there's a difference between that and then when you're going super, super heavy and you're pushing, primary muscle should be your chest. But when you're going super heavy, you're going to be pulling in some shoulders and some triceps too to push that weight up. And that's okay if it's all working as a whole. But what I'm talking about is when you're not really in touch with your chest and your shoulders are taking over, or your triceps are taking over, and you're completely missing the chest. But once you learn how to feel the chest and use the chest, so you're feeling the chest from the inside, knowing how to contract it, then you can use the chest from the inside. Once you do that, then that's when you can push a set farther, or you can go heavier. And that's when I think your best gains happen, is when you're using the chest. So not just feeling it, and going through emotion, but using and contracting. And I had a comment, I think it was on one of my last videos, and somebody said that they heard in the gym that flexing your muscles helps you to learn how to control the muscles. I think that's true. It's like any muscle that you train, like your arms, when somebody does a flex on the bicep, that squeeze from inside. So it's an isometric. It's an isometric. This is an isometric if you just push in and hold. But we're trying to learn those contractions. So when you learn how to flex and squeeze the bicep this way, you're basically doing that same thing when you're curling your weight up. You're squeezing it. You're squeezing the muscle from inside. So you're not just holding a weight and thinking about bringing your hands up to move the weight, because again, that's from the outside. We want to do from the inside. So you want to get inside your body and then inside the muscle that you're training. So when I go to lift a weight, I'm flexing my bicep to lift the weight. I'm not just lifting the weight from my hand. If you're just lifting the weight from your hand, one good sign to know, it's not always true, but you can tell when it is and when it's not, is when somebody lifts in there and they do this. They let their wrist do that at the top. To me, that shows that they're thinking of lifting this, because they come up and then they do that. They come up and they pull that bar in closer. Their focus is out here. Their focus isn't really in here. Because what I try to teach people to do, and I should make this on an arm video. Yeah, so let's save that for a different day. But yeah, I have a tip for biceps too. Because biceps was one of my hardest things to get to grow. My biceps and my calves. And you can see in my recent videos how my calves have just gotten like skinnier. So I'm going to start to really work on my calves and my biceps. Two very hard muscles for me to get to grow. And I do have tips on those. And I think I actually have a calf video that shows some of my tips that I do. And I'm sure I've probably talked about bicep stuff too, but I'll go ahead and make some new videos on those. But we're talking about chest today, so let's get back to chest. And I'm gonna go ahead and do a little chest workout for my Fit and Strong Over 50 vlog. And if you are on this journey too, I hope you follow me. I do have little tips that I'll throw in along the way with my workouts that I'm doing. And again, I almost feel like I'm starting from scratch. It's not like maybe starting from scratch of like somebody that's never worked out, but I've lost a lot of what I had before. And I'm noticing little things that I never noticed before. And it's actually helping me to relate to my clients better now that I'm going through this journey after stopping for a while. I felt my knee the other day doing legs. I don't usually feel my knees, but sometimes, you know, I feel things here and there. And the main thing is listening to your body too. If something doesn't feel right, don't push through it just because your mind can do it and you think that you should push through it. When you're over 50, and actually anytime, it's really important to listen to your body and not just push through it because you think you should and you're being tough. And it's the no pain, no gain. That's not no pain, no gain. That's just being stupid. The no pain, no gain means when you're inside your body, you're inside the muscle, and you're feeling that burn, and it's like, it's burning, it hurts, you know, then you push through it because it's like no pain, no gain. That's what that means. It means being in some discomfort because something's like burning and it's working and you're taking it farther. And it's like, you got to push through that. That's when you push through. You don't push through like a joint pain or, you know, something's just not feeling right. Pain. You want the pain in the muscle. You want the burn in the muscle. So that's what that means. Some people think that it's like pushing through. Oh, I feel my knee a little bit. I can do more. No. Or I feel my shoulder. It's like I can do a couple more. No. Stop. Especially being older, things take longer to recuperate. So when you feel the slightest little bit of like something that's not right, stop. You know, it might feel better on a different day. On that day, stop and just do something else. You can always work around things like that. And I've pretty much done that my whole career, and I help people to learn how to do that. And again, me being on this journey now, it's helping me to relate to my clients a little bit more. I understand them a little bit better because my body got to the point to where it was starting to feel really weak. And most of my clients are 60s and 70s. I have one that's in her 80s, two that are 40, and maybe one that's 50. You get on that other side of 40, and if you've never done anything, you have to ease into things and take baby steps. And I've always been a big believer of baby steps and taking your time. But as you get older, if you've never done anything, it's important to take it slower and really listen to your body. And if you have been fit before, like myself, then you've taken time off, then you still have to do that too. You have to come back slow. You can't start where you were. And just because you've done it before doesn't mean you should do it now. It just means that you really, really need to listen to your body. So anyway, this was going to be the beginning of my chest workout, but it turned into some chest tips. So if you like this video and you like this kind of video, please give it a thumbs up. And the more thumbs up I get, the more I feel like you like what I posted, and it just shows me what you guys like. And please comment too. I like to read your comments, and if you have any questions or requests, you can comment those too. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.